we are from Group 8. I would like to start my presentation with introduction of istihab. Literally, istihab means escorting or the companionship. I would like to start my point with point 1. Istihab donates the notion that the past or the current matter must be assumed to continue as it is in the present or the future according to Al-Kharafi. And point 2 is specifically those facts or rules or law and reason whose existence or non-existence have been proven in the past and which are presumed to remain so far lack of evidence to establish any change.
Technical meaning of istihab relate to its literal meaning in the sense that the past accompanies the present without any disruption or change, and point 4, which is technically istihab denote a rational proof which may be employed in the absence of other indication.
F5. So the first one is istihab al-wujud al-asli. First part of istihab is the original law must continue as long as there is no proposition to the contrary. Istihab al-wujud al-asli. It means that the origin of something remains based on something that existed before until there is a position or evidence that determines in change of alteration. For example, a missing person encountered as his original state was still alive until there was evidence to show he dead. Therefore, the scholar agree that his property cannot be entreated as the right entreat. According to the scholar of Hanafi schools, he right to suspended until it is confirmed that he is still alive or dead.
Second part of istishab is the free origin of responsibility continues until no proposition is involved. It is also known as istishab al-bara'ah al-asliyah or istishab al-adam al-asli. Al-istishab this section means continuous or lasting. Istishab is also defined as originally a person is exempt from the burdens and obligations of Islamic law until there is evidence to bear the responsibility. For example, men and women are not invited to bear the responsibility as husband and wife as long as they have not been entered into a valid marriage. Regarding the second form of istishab, the majority of scholars also agree to accept and should do good deeds with it. Third part of istishab is continue to complete Islamic law until the other way around. It is also known as istishab al-wasfi. Evidence so that there is evidence that shows the opposite law. Among the examples is that water is originally clean and is considered clean poor unless there are signs that show the water is contaminated with phases such as changing smell, color or taste. Regarding this third istishab, the scholars agree to accept and should do good deeds with it.
The next part of istihab is istihab al-hukmi, or also can be known as juristical. Istihab al-hukmi presumes the continuity of the general rules and principles of the law. By this part, we can see that istihab not only concerned with resumption of fact, but also with the established rule and principle of the law. Istihab al-hukmi continued validity of the provision of the Sharia in regard to presumability and prohibition or halal and haram. Whether prohibitory or permissive, it will be presumed to continue until the contrary is proved. But when there is no such ruling available, resource will be held to the principle of ibahah. Ibahah is the general norm of Sharia law concerning a matter that is deemed beneficial and free every consequence. When there is no specific ruling mentioned in the Islamic law on the relevant issues, such issues or cases will be categorized as permissible. The issue that can be included in this category are smoking shisha and vape. So there is no clear ruling on smoking shisha and vape for Muslims, or whether smoking vape is halal or haram, so it's permissible. The last part of istihab is istihab of ijma law. This istihab implies to confirm law enforcement that has been established to ijma scholars, but in the next period scholars disagree about the law because characteristics of the original law had been changed.
Istihab application to current context. When a person is absent and it is not known whether he is alive or dead, and he is deemed to be alive in a period between the absent and beginning judged to be a dead, the implication of the people was going three parts. His wife cannot marry, and his property cannot inherit it, and also his property rights should not be tampered with until he is fully known whether he is still alive or dead, And the second one is Abu Hanifa said the missing person is counted as a dead person by seeing appear in the tarot where he or she alive. When he is there no more, then he can be judged as a dead person. Here's Malik also said the time limit for determining a missing person content as a dead is 70 years. This is based on hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that the age of the people of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is between 60 to 70 years. Imam Shafi'i said the time limit for determining whether a missing person is considered dead is 90 years. That is by looking at the age of birth in his relative death. Hanbali say when the missing person is in a situation where it's possible to die like a war, then evidence must be 4 years. After 4 years, not known in the news, eating his property can be distributed to his heirs. Second part is determination of the Sharia of legal heirs involved with the lost person. The rights person as heir to the state proposition should be preserved because this survivor or dead at the moment the deceased or passing away could be the second one is consequential. The two principles are applicable. The present here is taking minimal portion and the reserving of the remaining shares. The third one is if a rightful recipient should get what she or he deserves and no single right is involved. The application of the principle is showing when the person dies and he is survived by another. Is survived by a mother, wife, daughter, and grandmother sister. The 5 is the person is found in loss. The still evaluate at 120,000 ringgit. The person here is taking minimal shares means that the mother takes 20,000 ringgit and wife also take it 15,000 ringgit and grandmother sister take it 25,000 ringgit. The second is the remaining 60,000 ringgit is served until he actually possession of the lost person, whether he survivor or receiver is known as. If evidence is found in that he survived, the 60,000 ringgit is given to the lost, and if established a lost person proceed, the received 60,000 ringgit uses the maximum the amount of the every legal heirs could rightful receive.
I'd like to talk about the argument of istishab. Scholars agree that it is obligatory to do good deeds with al-istishab, the first part, which is the original law. That is, it must continue as long as there is no evidence that contradicts it. Scholars of the three sects bring their argument as well. The argument of the first sect, second, and the third. The argument of the first sect is istishab is an argument on denial and stipulation. Istishab, according to scholars such as Al-Shafi'i, Hanbali, and Zahiri, becomes an absolute argument to validate a law that has been crucified such that there is provision that modifies it. As a result, istishab becomes a denial argument in support of right and determination to attain it. Next, the argument of the second sect. The argument of the second sect is istishab is an argument on denial, not on stipulation. Most Muslim and Hanafi scholars agree that istishab is denial argument supporting right rather than acquisition argument. To put it another way, al-istishab is an argument for defending current right rather than accepting new rights. Rejecting the consequences of law coming from rulings that are inconsistent with previous rulings. Last but not least, the argument of the third sect. The argument of the third sect is istishab is not a valid argument. When it comes to the third school's argument, the book of Hanafi scholars and some Al-Kalam academic are involved. Al-istishab is not an absolute argument according to most mutakallim academic. This is because they claim that the existence of a law in the past does not guarantee that the law will continue to exist in the future. In summary, it can be seen from the three reasons given by the school that al-istishab makes the existing law permanent and continues to be used until there is evidence or true evidence to change the law.
The last part is conclusion of istihab. Absolutely, al-istihab remains the backbone of most mustahid and is used as a source of law when no other evidence is found. However, it is not a separate proposition that stands alone to establish a new law. In fact, it shows the continuity of the past law when the mujtahid feels that there is no proposition. Therefore, when it contradicts another proposition, then the other proposition takes precedence. Thus, al-istihab is a dynamic field for mujtahid and it is taken into account in some modern laws and legal policies because the expression that the accused person is innocent until proven guilty is based on istihab al-bara'ah al-asliyah.
However, istihab is also not an independent proof or method of legal exclusion in its own right, but primarily serves as a method of implementing existing indication whose validity and continuing relevance are determined by the istihab method. It applies either in the absence of other evidence or as a means of proving the relevance of existing evidence. It is a principle of evidence because it primarily deals with the establishment or refutation of facts and the evidence.